I think about it compared to, let's say, 25 years ago. 25 years ago, associates were hired whether as new associates or as laterals, and laterals were less frequent than they are today. And you'd say, what are people looking for when they think about promoting somebody to partner? What do I have to do? And the answer at that time, and I bet Michael will be nodding his head, is we want to see the potential to be a partner. We want to see the potential to develop business. Those standards, for the most part, at the largest firms have changed, and they're harder. They're stricter. And so it's no longer a question of potential. Now it's more about demonstrated behavior and success. So somebody who we think can develop clients or grow clients. Now it has to be, in most firms, they have already done that and demonstrated that. So that's one really big hurdle in terms of what the expectations are of senior associates, but it's also broader. The expectation for pro bono, or in the UK, ESG, CSR contributions, corporate social responsibility, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So that notion of firm citizenship, which connotes leadership, is something that is expected. We're also, as I said, looking at people that have already grown and developed client relationships and have started managing those clients. So you see that time period getting lengthened because firms are less willing to take on that risk. There's also this expectation of community involvement, whether it is being on boards or being active in different organizations. That's something that is part of the overall profile when we consider somebody for partnership. And then developing and building teams. And the leverage model is still alive and well in law. So while we're looking for people who can bill a lot of hours and work really hard, we also want to see that they can lead sophisticated matters. And part of that is overseeing large groups of people. And part of that and managing those sophisticated matters is also pricing, budgeting, overseeing those individual matters to a budget. So whether it is a fixed fee arrangement or it is still on an hourly basis, there are now estimates going in. And those are matters that we have to report on a regular basis to our larger clients. So for example, at my old firm, the chairman was really great at kind of giving an idea of how wacky the legal industry is and why it's changing and why it should change. And the comparison is, if you were to want to go fly from London to New York, and you went up to the desk at an airport, or you called your 800 number and they said, oh, so you want to go to New York? Okay, we can get you there. And you said, well, how much does it cost? Well, we'll let you know when we get there. It depends on wind and temperature. And, so we don't know how much fuel we're going to use. So we'll let you know once we get there. That's not acceptable in the aviation industry, right? But somehow it has been acceptable in law. And so now, and you hear it from Michael as an example of a general counsel, we have had a couple decades of significant corporate clients saying, we're not going to do that anymore. This is the amount we think this is worth, or you tell us what it's worth and then stick to it. And it's up to you to figure out how to work your leverage model to make the numbers work for you. But this is what the matter's worth to us. So those are, I think, the biggest areas where we're really looking for a mix of talents as opposed to just a really smart lawyer that's good with clients.